Okay, so this one might step on a few toes, and that's okay. Stay with me because this conversation needs to happen.
And listen up, yo. Listen up, yo.
If you are broke, your car might be the very thing keeping you that way. And I say this with love.
Listen up, listen up, listen up, yo.
It's not a vehicle you're driving. It might be a vehicle driving you straight into a financial hole. I genuinely do not understand the pressure to buy an expensive car when you don't have these savings, investments, or breathing room in your budget. Buying something flashy to look rich while you're financially anxious and stressed behind the scenes, that's the trap. So here's the question that I really want you to sit with. If that car payment didn't exist, what else could you be doing with that money? Where else could that money be going? Because the goal isn't to look wealthy. The goal is to build wealth and actually be wealthy. There's a real need to flex. I get it. Society really pushes that. But the numbers back up why this matters for your wallet. According to a Lending Tree survey, nearly 40% of Americans admit that they've spent more than they can afford just to impress somebody else, whether that's family, friends, or a date. Younger generations feel this the most, with about half of Gen Z and nearly half of millennials saying they've overspent to impress others. And here's the kicker. A lot of people are doing this that don't actually have the income or savings to support the lifestyle they're trying to portray. I know, shocker, right? There's research showing that a big driver of the conspicuous spending, especially among men, is the desire to impress potential partners or look successful in romantic situations. Overcompensation much? And the people they're trying to impress see right through it. It's less about actual wealth and more about perceived status. And that perception is often what keeps people financially stuck. So here's the truth. That car, it's not really about getting from A to B. It's a status symbol for what you really want, to be seen as someone with money. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's your friends, maybe men, maybe women. It doesn't matter. You get the car, it's shiny, it looks nice, you feel good rolling around in it, you're riding clean, you're sitting high. But who's really eating those payments? Hint, it's you. Every single month. So let's just get real about how expensive a car actually is and then why that matters if you're trying to get ahead. According to the latest AAA report, the average cost of owning and operating a new vehicle in the US is about $11,577 per year, or roughly $965 a month, once you factor in depreciation, insurance, fuel, maintenance, and everything else. And here's the part that should make you pause. Nearly 40% of American households have no emergency savings at all. Most have less than $5,000 saved for unexpected expenses, like a job loss or a car repair for said car. So if you lose your job tomorrow, do you have the emergency fund? Because most people don't. You're busy spending it on a car payment. People think if I can afford the monthly payment, I can afford the car. No, stop right there. That's a lie. You cannot afford the car. You know what rich people say? They say, don't show me the monthly payments, show me the total cost of ownership. Because they know those interest payments add up. Some people can't afford it. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who are just trying to keep up appearances. And it gets worse. For lower income households, transportation can eat up a huge chunk of your budget. And when you're trying to build wealth with nothing saved, that car isn't just a vehicle, it's a wealth killer. For some people, it's game over before it even started. There are so many teenagers I see getting caught up in this. Society makes you feel like you need your own car to be independent, so you go out and finance something with interest rates anywhere from 12% to 20% without even knowing what an interest rate even is. It's especially risky if you don't have a cosigner. It doesn't stop there. You've got insurance, maintenance, gas, and a lot of you pick the cars you want, not based off of research, but based off of what your friend drives or what you see on social media. So let's dive into social media for a second. It conditioned us to think that we deserve a lot more than we really do. Truth is, you don't deserve your dream car in your 20s. You don't deserve the ultimate white SUV soccer mom flex. Not being able to afford something doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a bad friend, a bad spouse, or a bad parent. What's bad is being broke, but acting and spending like you're rich. Your kids, your family, your friends, they're not gonna love you any less because you can afford a used Honda and not a new Audi. Being tight with money doesn't define you. It's just about being honest with yourself about your reality. Maybe one day you're going to be able to afford it, but if you start off digging a hole financially when you're young, getting out is going to take serious discipline. It's going to be frustrating, it's going to be hard, it's going to be annoying, and a lot of people end up with regrets, either for the things they did to get them in the hole or for the things they couldn't do, like the trips they couldn't afford because they had the car payments instead. So, which one do you want to be? And I don't think this stops in your 20s. If you're still doing this in your 30s and 40s, it's the same story. Are you going to be the person always regretting their financial decisions? Here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves a nice car. Sorry, but they don't. People who can afford cars the right way, they worked hard, they saved, they practiced delayed gratification. And if you're in that position, yes, get yourself the nice car. Treat yourself. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're broke and thinking you're entitled to it, that flex isn't a win. It's a trap that is costing you big time. And just no one likes entitlement. Don't hit me with the I need something to get back and forth to work or I need to take the kids to school in excuse. Okay, fine. But do you really need a BMW? No, you don't. You want it because you feel like you should have it. But wanting it doesn't mean you deserve it. And now what? You're working overtime, hustling on the weekends. You're spending time away from your friends and family, all because of a car you bought to show off. Meanwhile, the people that you're actually trying to impress, they don't care. They pull up at the same job doing the same work while you're stressed about payments on a car you can't afford. That literally makes no sense. And yet we see it all the time. I've seen this happen so many times. A car payment over $1,000 a month, that is excessive. And an APR over 12%, that is the biggest red flag. Yet some people are so focused on getting that car that they'll agree to those high rates, drive it off the lot, and watch it lose value every single day. The culture I grew up in was all about comparison, so I get it. I went to school with hedge fund kids. The moms drove the SUV Porsches. The kids got BMWs for their 16th birthday. I got a Mazda, which is incredibly privileged. But did I lose friends over it because I didn't get a Mercedes? No, absolutely not. You know why? Because no one actually cares. And if they do care, is that the kind of person you want in your life? Truth is, the broke mindset perpetuates itself. Kids follow their parents and the cycle continues. So if you grew up in a family where as soon as you have a little, you find a way to spend it and not on the things that actually matter. People who truly want financial freedom don't throw their limited resources at a car that's losing value the second you drive it off the lot. And we need to stop teaching kids and ourselves to value material things over financial sense. Someone needs to call BS and say, enough is enough. We're ending the cycle here. It works the other way around as well. Don't buy things to impress others, but also don't be impressed by what others have. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They have a nice car, but no savings, no investments, and one paycheck away from that car being repossessed. And if they could afford it, did it make them a better person? Someone you actually admire for their character or just for their objects? You buy a car to feel successful, to fill a void, but it's all a lie. Deep down, you know you can't actually afford it. Therefore, it's not going to give you the feeling that you're chasing. Honestly, I don't think it's worth going into debt for a car. Here is what I teach my students to do. Save $300 for a couple of months. Get a beater car. Keep saving that $300 a month. Sell the old one and upgrade the car in cash. Only start looking at new cars if you have a net worth of $1 million or more. A reliable used car that gets you from point A to point B, that's all you need. It's not about showing off. The car is transportation, not a status symbol. If something happens, you get sick, you lose a shift, or you need cash for an emergency, you're not panicking about how to pay for your car. I want you to care about your future as much as I do. If we're lucky, we all get to grow old, and I want you to be financially prepared for it. People say they can't afford to save, but what's really happening is they're just spending it on things that don't actually matter. You're spending your time and money making other people rich. Your car isn't making you rich. You're making the car company rich, the salesman rich, the bank rich, even your employer rich.
She looked at my wrist and she looked at 100,000.
Meanwhile, the things you're buying, like that car, are keeping you broke.
She looked at my wrist and she looked at 100,000.
You cannot have money if you're spending money. Let me say it again. You cannot have money if you're spending money. And what happens when you don't have money? You have to go to work. So now you're working to buy things you don't need. This is one of the biggest financial decisions you can make, and it can bankrupt you before you even start building wealth. Do you know what's real winning? Not having a car payment. Trust me, when you free yourself from that, there's so much money left over, money you can actually use to build your future, invest, and create real financial freedom. It's time to take control. Every choice you make today sets the foundation for the life you want tomorrow. So stop spending on things that are holding you back and start investing in yourself and build a future where you're in charge of the money, not the other way around.